The Railgun has been a lifesaver since launch, a great way to punch through armor and dispense democracy to those pesky armored Xenos, though lately it has gotten a lot of bad rep because of a nerf it has received. But fear not, the nerf is just enemy propaganda. It is still a great way to add variety and flexibility to the squad. It is unlocked at level 20, so there's some work to get there. It comes with 20 shots, ammo packs will reload 10. Reload time is incredibly fast. The Railgun is different than most weapons in Helldivers 2. It is a charge weapon with the damage and penetration scaling with the charge. With a high enough charge, some weak spots of more armored enemies can be one-shotted. Other enemies can go down with 2 or 3 well-placed shots or see the armor crack to be exploited by other weapons. However, there are a few things to keep in mind that are exclusive to the Railgun. First of all is that this weapon has a safe and unsafe mode. It comes preloaded with a safe mode that only allows the Railgun to be charged at around 80%. The unsafe mode allows it to 100. You can see the status of the charge at the sides of the weapon. A word of caution though, as overcharging the Railgun at safe or unsafe mode will make it explode and consequently kill the Helldiver. And unlike any other equipment, when you die with a weapon explosion, it cannot be retrieved. In previous patches, penetration of Bile Titans and Chargers was possible without getting to unsafe mode. Now, to deal with those more armored pesky enemies of democracy, the unsafe mode needs to be used. For most lightly armored enemies though, a 80% charge shot should be enough in almost every circumstance. To best protect our way of life, we need to know how to kill the enemy, and let's start with the Terminids. For the rank and file riffraff like warriors, using the Railgun is a waste of ammo. It will one-shot everything up to Stalkers and Brute Commanders, though don't forget that the Brute Commanders can attack even with the head blown off. Hive Guards have lots of frontal protection that can be easily blown out by the Railgun, though since they tuck up when being shot against, there's weapons more suited for them instead of using the limited ammo we have. For the Terminids then, the Railgun is better used against Chargers, Bile Spewers, and of course Bile Titans. Chargers have recently received a head nerf that lowers the amount of head hit points. I have found though that the previous leg meta continues to be the best way to deal with these oversized cockroaches. 2 to 3 overcharged charges to the legs will be enough to either crack it open or kill it outright. If you shoot everywhere else, I have had situations that 15 overcharged shots down the charger, but considering the time it takes to take down that way, it makes no sense using the Railgun other than shoot its legs. A tactic to get the charger down is to overcharge a shot, let the charger come your way and then hit the leg. The charger will then slide, jump out of the way and restart the process. Be mindful of your surroundings though. For the Bile Titans, I have found that it is incredibly inconsistent. I have 3-shotted Biles or even 1-shotted when they are throwing the Bile. That gives a window of opportunity to send a supercharged shot down their throat. Other ways to do it is to destroy their side armor, which then can be exploited by using other weapons that deal good DPS at distance. In this case, the Railgun will serve as a can opener. Other times I have found that none of these tactics worked for the Bile. There will be penetration and even staggering, but it will take another stratagem to send it down. I have heard this could be related to whoever hosts the game, where the PlayStation 5 host will have an easier Bile Titan. I cannot know if this is the case, but the inconsistency is definitely there. For the automatons or tin cans, I have found that the Railgun is incredibly more successful and less inconsistent. The tactics also can change due to the automaton long-range capabilities, but once again, it is better to use the limited ammo with less rank-and-file type of soldiers and choose more armored types. I would save my ammo when encountering the walkers unless there's a bunch of them and you are pinned down. 180% shot to the armor is enough to send it down. Same will be with the Berserkers. Their armor is incredibly light, so killing it with a main or secondary is a more efficient use of ammo. So using the Railgun is generally for heavies and elites, bar the tanks really. It is quite successful sending even Hulks down. For that, it is necessary to think tactically. Think about your positioning and pace of shots. The best way is to pick the more elite types at a distance and then pointing down their weak spots. For the Devastators, their weaknesses tend to be the head, one place shot at the head and it then goes away. Though for the regular Devastator, it isn't really that highly armored, so it can be brought down even with regular weapons when up close and personal. The other ones are essentially the same bar the heavy ones, but the Railgun is best used against these heavies and rocket Devastators because of the ranged, powerful attacks they have. For both of these, one or two well-placed charge shots to the head or the skull will be enough. Believe it or not, for any Hulk, it is mostly the same as well. A well-placed charge shot to the eye in the center of the chest, you know, that red glowy thing in the middle, is enough to either send it to overheat or disable it outright. Shooting the back weak spot with an overshot charge is enough to send it to hell. Though it must be said that with tanks, the Railgun is mostly useless unless of course you exploit the back weakness, but with the tanks, choose any other stratagem that you'll have at hand. The Railgun has decent range, but excels at medium-range firefights, namely at around 50 meters, where its accuracy isn't really that much impacted. It doesn't have any scope, just a red dot, therefore it will be inaccurate to exploit the small weak spots of Hulks further away than that. Though with the Devastators, inaccurate center of mass shots can send them down. It can also be a decent CQB type of sniper weapon as if it were Counter-Strike if you get the pacing correct, but once again it won't be efficient for that. It synergizes really well with the Guard Dog and the Rover Personal Shield. The Guard Dog is useful with Terminids as it covers the back, allowing for a little more time between shots. For the automatons, the personal shield serves as a way to buy time as well, as automatons have mostly ranged fire. The shield will be in the way of getting some of the lead or lasers down a face. As the Railgun covers mostly the medium and heavy armored enemies, though it doesn't have the best firing rate, stratagems like the orbital laser, orbital Railgun are ways to help down heavy types of enemies when multiple are around at the same time, and stratagems like the airburst or napalm can be used when the number of non-armored enemies are too high. We have to talk about the downsides of the Railgun too. First and foremost, it is the timing of the shots. It is incredibly easy to overcharge and blow up. There is a specific timing for each shot for max efficiency. Going over that timing happens really fast, resulting in catastrophic consequences even in safe mode. Not so much a problem with automatons, as even the Hulks can be sent to overheat with the safe, short, well-placed shot. With the Terminids though, it can become a massive problem when the timing isn't right or the chaos starts to ensue. With multiple Chargers and Titans going around, it is super easy to lose your pacing and then you have zero efficiency with it. Likewise with the Terminids, the inconsistency this rifle has at the moment, another choice of weapon may be a smarter choice. I hope that these inconsistencies are fixed so that the nerf, or whatever is called by enemies of democracy, can make more sense, like the possibility of downing very armored high priority targets, but the shots need to be delivered and charged deliberately. Let us know your tactics with the Railgun and also check out the video about the Rover, another great friend of democracy.